These two have been in the news ever since they called it quits on their royal duties, but the haters have been pretty surprised to see them doing really well. Harry and Meghan have proven to be quite a power couple, and they've really shown us that moving away from the palace isn't as bad as it sounds. But how are they making all this money without the support of the royal family? Let's find out. First off, they have multiple sources. The decision to take a step back from their royal duties meant that they'd be giving up a steady income and a whole lot of facilities that came with being a part of the British monarchy. But these two were quite determined to create a boundary, and it worked well for them. Once they moved away, the couple signed deals with Netflix, Spotify, and book publishers, as well as established their own production house. Even though this must have been a tough act to pull, it warms our hearts to see that they are doing well. Their latest documentary has been streaming on Netflix and has gotten a lot of attention. The details are extremely horrible. What the two of them have had to go through made us so angry. But they're doing well, all settled in their home Montecito in California. These are probably the only royals who ventured out like this on their own with zero reliance on the family money. And it's great to see that they've gotten pretty good deals. Both of them are popular with the masses and everyone genuinely wants to hear them talk. The best thing? They have so much to offer besides their family feud. These are two people who are creative and compassionate, and they've finally started to explore all the opportunities that could be available to them. From what we're seeing, they've just begun, and we can't wait to see them raking in the moolah. Next up, there are no strings attached. Remember when the royal family cut them off? We're sure they expected the couple to come running back. Who's the silly one now? Harry and Meghan dealt with the financial shift pretty well and bagged multiple deals with industry giants to keep them afloat. To be honest, we think it was rude as hell for the family to just let them leave penniless. Goes on to show what kind of mean-spirited bunch it is. We mean, they wanted to take away all chances of them doing well enough to not want to return. How's that acceptable? Families don't do that. And it's not like they wanted to leave just like that. They asked for solutions, but no one responded positively. Guys, we clearly have a lot of feelings about the topic. Coming back to it though, the couple is now enjoying absolute financial freedom and there are no strings attached. It's not like they were being paid for just existing by the family. They had to work for that money and it was a thankless job. We've seen the disturbing obsession that the British media in particular has with the monarchy, and as the couple explained, the media thinks it's entitled to every little detail of the family's life as there's taxpayer money involved. But now that they've ventured out on their own and are taking zero money from the family, there are no strings attached at all. That's what we call victory. It hasn't stopped the media from going after them, but it can no longer claim that it has any right. Not to mention, it hasn't stopped the palace from issuing threats. Although the couple has found various ways to boost their income, all on their own, the palace still thinks it has control over them. The royal family has been threatening to revoke the couple's titles, as well as not issue their kids their proper designations. Disgusting behavior. Can you imagine that a bunch of grown-ups are doing this? Someone needs to be fired. It's clear to us that the firm has no real power over them. And honestly, if they make this move, they'll be the ones coming across as villains. These people really need to take a chill pill. Well, we're happy to report that H&M aren't bothered by this at all, and they'll put up a fight in case of any injustice. So guess what they're saying to the royal family is, bring it on. Coming up, the deals with Netflix and Spotify. See, the whole royal family drama has us pretty worked up. But back to the couple now. So the production house, Archewell Productions, has entered a deal with these two industry giants to create some brilliant content. The recent docuseries about the couple was produced by Archewell Productions, and it will be creating multiple other shows for the streaming platform. This collaboration will ensure that their work is always on the mainstream, and if you ask us, that's just the kind of attention one needs. On the website, they mention that they want to create content that informs, elevates, and inspires. And to this end, an exciting project has been announced as well. Heart of Invictus will be bringing to light the resilient stories of the 6 servicemen and women. The idea is to get the word out and make it possible for the world to see their potential as well. Not to mention, it's a great way of showing people what compassion can achieve. The Sussexes entered this deal with Netflix for about $100 to $150 million, which we think is pretty neat. Peeps gotta make some money. Then there's the deal with Spotify. Meghan locked that for a whopping $25 million and is now hosting her own podcast, Archetypes. The couple has announced, after signing the deal, that they'd be using the platform to create diversity, share experiences, voice powerful narratives, and shine a light on perspectives as well as voices. Let's talk about how Archetypes is doing just that. The podcast has become quite popular, and people are loving what Markle has to say. First of all, it's great that she has found her voice again, and to listen to her use it. To take control back of the story is just beautiful. The girl's clearly showing us all the response boss. She's had several famous people on the podcast with her, and the discussions are always enlightening. It's great to listen to our favorite person speak about lived experiences, and it also adds to the wholesome image of the couple. If you ask us, this is a win-win situation. What's more, the two are writers as well. Oh yeah, we didn't call them a power couple for nothing. There's no stone that these two are leaving unturned. In 2021, Meghan published a children's book called The Bench and reportedly made $700,000 for it. The book has done really well and was number 3 in Amazon's best-selling category and number 1 in the children's emotion category. The New York Times has the book at number 1 in the children's picture book category soon after its release. Sounds pretty sweet to us. The Duke, on the other hand, has signed a deal with the publication, Penguin Random House, for around $20 million to write a memoir. We aren't sure about the money involved, but it's close to this amount as per reports. The book is titled Spare, and the publishing house has said that it contains raw, unflinching honesty. We can't wait for this book to hit the shelves. We'll definitely be getting our hands on it. Prince Harry's own account of what his life has been like is just what we needed to read. To be honest, he's been our favorite forever, and while we'd have never gotten to hear his side, had things not gotten so bad, we're glad that he's getting the space to raise his voice. All in all, we think that the couple is doing well, and the positive response that the two have gotten for their work only encourages us to hope that there's a lot more to come. Following up, Harry also has BetterUp. This one is a mental health firm, and he serves there as a board executive. While we don't know how much he's making at this job, we do know that the company has been doing really well financially, and we're hoping that being on the board is getting him a good piece of the pie. A lot of people are constantly talking about how a prince has to look for jobs, but guys, the royal family also works for the money they get. We now know clearly to what extent they're exploited, and we're glad that H&M got out when they could. Just goes on to show that when you put your well-being first, the universe does too. It's no coincidence that the two of them were able to find such great projects. Finally, what did they give up when leaving the royal family? They're doing great, but we wanted to get into what all these two gave up, just to give you guys some perspective on how difficult the decision must have been. The first thing that happened was being cut off from the annual income. This was entirely funded by Harry's father, King Charles III, and was around several million pounds. Imagine giving all that up in a heartbeat. That alone tells you things were bad. Then there was the matter of the security details. To be honest, hearing about it in the docuseries broke our hearts. This is something that all royal members receive because of their public image. This isn't splurging all. They've got a target on their backs, and being so visible in the media, stalkers are quite the norm, not to mention the media vultures. While this has been taken away, Harry has appealed this decision in the courts and is waiting for a response. He also had to give up his military titles, despite serving 2 terms in Afghanistan. This was a nasty move by the palace occupants. The man served his country and is a decorated soldier. They have no business taking that away from him. But we're glad that the world sees the injustices and that the couple is powering through despite what roller coaster ride that they've been on. That's a wrap for this video. Did you know how Harry and Meghan were making money without the royal family? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and press that bell icon for the latest information and news like this. See you at the next one.